Crysis was born right after or during the last phase of Far Cry. For me, it was about, well, the first reaction was, I have enough of jungles. That was only the first reaction for about a couple of minutes. And I said, no, I'm not done actually with it yet. So I went to one of our art directors and went to Magnus.
Shivat described it pretty close. He said, I want a jungle scene. It should be in the sunrise. You should see inside a sphere that is frozen inside, and there's an alien ship. That was basically the criteria.
After like a half day, he came back to me and he said, like this? And I said, yeah, that's fantastic. I wanted to make a hero where the player at any moment can change his tactic to survive any given situation. So the player constantly has to adapt to survive in a way he wants to apply his tactics, he wants to overcome the enemy, and he wants to use the environment to overcome the enemy.
We wanted two things. Number one is to establish a hero who is visually different from anything that's on the market today. And the reason number two is that as the game developed, as we played it, we figured out that it would be cool to have different abilities according to the situation.
So the nano suit was born, where he can change his speed, strength, armor, and go to cloak if needed.
The concept of the suit was one of the biggest odysseys in the whole process, because originally we didn't have it. So in the beginning, the player used to start with a normal, super advanced, modern soldier Delta Force kind of uniform without any special features. And later on, he used to upgrade to some armor, just big tank-looking guy.
We talked a lot about Japanime and Japanese anime and using that and saying, okay, or comic books and saying, well, if I'm going to jump up in strength mode, how am I going to look when I do that? Am I just going to look like I'm jumping, or am I going to have this cool Batman type pose? So we went for the Batman pose.
The nanosuit brought another challenge actually to the level design, because with those enhanced abilities, if the player suddenly can make 3-meter high jumps, if he can run 30 meters in just a couple of seconds, you have to really think differently about your level design.
And now really I play on other games and I find myself wanting to do like nano sprint and it's not there, and I'm just like, oh, this game this isn't fun now.
Get down!
The big goal about the aliens of Crysis was always to define a benchmark. We spend more time and money and resources ever in one creature than probably the entire budget of Far Cry.
Aliens, we have so many concepts for aliens, I couldn't even count them. I think hundreds,
yeah,
literally.
Reference-wise, we looked a lot at underwater little strange fishes and creatures.
We can't just have this one kind of alien engagement or this kind of threat. We have to have different kinds of aliens, and they all should provoke you to a different kind of gameplay. Look different, feel different, do something different. All those different creatures together should be this interesting alien involvement.
Reality is, for me, a means of accepting, of buying in the gamer. The average age statistically shown is about 25 years old now, today. And they're much more academic or smarter than they were 10 years ago. So ultimately, they have expectations which have become bigger and bigger and bigger. For that matter, more real, more real, more real.
Crysis is unsurpassed in terms of its visual quality. You won't see anything like Crysis on the market for some time. And Crytek are well known for producing incredible graphics and all the things that go with that in terms of the realism of the game.
We have leaves that have light scattering through them with perfect shadowing and everything. We have a very, very good dynamic light system. Everything breaks in this game. We have motion blur, so basically depth of field. All the features, all the things that a real camera has.
It's really amazing to see like a real-time rendered ocean that Thiago's working on and just go, is he watching a Pixar film? Like, what is it? I mean, to see stuff that's being rendered at 60 frames a second that looks comparative to stuff that I've seen in film is just really, I would say, breathtaking.
When we did Far Cry, we made the idea of what a jungle should look like. And this time, the goal was to make a real one.
The most fun part about the research process was that we got to fly to Tahiti. I mean, we photographed every single piece of leaf, rock, vegetation, whatever we found on this island, everything. We got to feel how things relate to each other, how they grow, how the palm trees look like.
How the leaves get affected by looking at the sun through the leaf.
If you manage to do that, get the little things right, you get a very good sense of immersion for players. One example, which used to be used very, very broadly in games, is, for example, lens flares on cameras, which isn't something you see in real life. If you walk around, you don't see a lens flare. But the visual impact of that feels real to the player.
Initially, we set the direction. We said we want to be as photoreal as possible, or for that matter, video real as possible, but also be as interactive as possible. And our technology team, our CryEngine team, said back then, you cannot have both directions. You have to either go photoreal or more interactive. And I said, no, I want both. I did compromise, said, let's try to get both.
It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do everything, and we want it to look amazing. And it's like, okay, well, that's gonna be a little difficult.
And then after almost like 1.5 years, I see the first tree ever break in this company. It doesn't sound like a big deal to have a tree breaking in computer graphics, but the thing is the tree looked super real. But then when you shoot it, it started breaking exactly where I shot it and it fell over realistically. In gaming, that's a major achievement. And for that moment when this happened, two extreme directions we had in mind actually came together. The only problem was back then it was only one tree. And we said now we have to be able to destroy every tree in the world.